It was New Year's Eve, 1783. The Treaty of Paris had just been signed, officially ending the American Revolution. After 7 long years of occupying Sandy Hook, the British were finally heading home. One such boat about to return back to Great Britain was the HMS Assistance, anchored not far from where we're standing in these waters. However, not everyone on ship wanted to go back. Despite the severe cold and weather conditions, 6 of His Majesty's soldiers jumped overboard and swam to a party of patriots located off the shore of Sandy Hook. A Lieutenant Halyburton was tasked with chasing after them. He boarded a small boat with 13 others to give chase, and they would never return. You've probably driven past it countless times on your way to the beach. About 3 miles past the toll booths entering Sandy Hook is a small stone structure with a British flag. But what would a British flag ever be doing flying at what was once an American military base? This is a monument dedicated to Lieutenant Hamilton Douglas Halyburton and the 13 others who perished that fateful day in the waters of Sandy Hook. As the expedition attempted to capture the deserters, their small boat became enveloped in a winter storm. Unable to see where they were going, their boat got stuck in the mud while giving chase, in what was possibly a sandbar, and they became trapped, failing to see or be seen by others. It took 2 days for the storm to pass, and when it did, their 14 bodies were found frozen to death. It was said that their margin of error was so slim that if they had just veered only 50 yards left or right, they would have sailed right past it. As for the deserters, there is no record of their fate, but it has been presumed that they made it safely away. But the story of what happened to the bodies of Halyburton and his men may be more interesting than their deaths themselves. They would be buried in a mass grave with a small monument erected on top, paid for by his mother, the Dowager Countess of Morton. But sometime in 1808, a French naval vessel landed on Sandy Hook and spotted the memorial. In the midst of the Napoleonic Wars, these French sailors destroyed the monument and desecrated the grave. The Dowager Countess died in 1823, having never been informed of its destruction. The grave would then be forgotten until 1908, when the U.S. Army at Fort Hancock was in the midst of construction and accidentally discovered the skeletal remains of 14 individuals. After realizing who these bodies belonged to and communicating with the British government, the bodies were removed and reinterred at Cypress Hills National Cemetery in Brooklyn, which was deemed more appropriate since it was a military cemetery. The British government was appreciative of the gesture. A monument was constructed there listing the names of all 14 sailors. The site at Sandy Hook would remain unmarked until 1937, when the monument that stands there today was built. Though the bodies have been removed, is it possible that some sort of ghostly presence remains? A tragedy combined with multiple disturbances of the grave allows that there might be the possibility that we could communicate with Lieutenant Halyburton and his men. What will we find, if anything? Ghosts on the Coast investigates. Is Lieutenant Halyburton here? No one's ever probably tried to communicate with you. Can we talk to Lieutenant Halyburton? Can we talk to Lieutenant Halyburton?
It almost sounded like it said, "Who's that?" and then it cut out.
Is the lieutenant or any of his men here?
Four? How many crewmen were there?
Are any of their remains still here? How many soldiers were buried here? Was this the exact spot of your grave, or was it somewhere else? Maybe a little farther back. How did Halyburton and his men die? Female voice again. What night was it? Male voice there. Let's take a walk down that trail. Keep it on and see. Like I said, I mean, this says this was the spot, but who knows? It might have been a little farther down.
Back here.
Could have been farther that way. I mean, we really don't know.
Male voice coming through again.
One.
Yeah, I heard one.
What was the name of your king?
Again.
Gun.
I heard gun.
Female voice. A lot of female, considering they. Female, considering they. It would have been all men, but there's definitely a female spirit here. Whose gun? Hello?
Definitely wasn't a hello. Start with an S.
I heard southbound.
I heard south.
So,
Oh, little cement concrete structure right there. Under that tree.
well, I couldn't tell you what this is, but the reason the bodies were found in 1908 is because the U.S. Army was doing construction. Now, obviously, they didn't build anything there if that's where the bodies were, because the only thing there is the monument. So maybe they were building something over here. I don't know.
Just came through when you play that back.
Can you say that again? And
Oh, there's the manhole cover on top.
are there any American soldiers, any Continental soldiers here? Did you fight for George Washington?
Sound like it said who.
Yeah, who? Are any spirits from the HMS Assistance here with us?
That was like a full word.
Sounded like a British accent too, actually.
Yeah.
There is like more sandy path behind that post back there.
All right, we can go that way.
Response there. I don't know what it said though.
think, in a British accent we've gotten. Or that would have been Australian, right? Good night, mate.
I mean, they came from England. When was that a prison colony?
Would have been 1700s? Was it?
I'm sure I have to fact check that.
I don't have Australian history on my priorities list.
Back in here is what I was saying. Like
This is a lot more.
there's sand paths here, but one shoots that way, one shoots that way, but they're probably to the same open ground back there. That sounded Spanish.
Yeah. Stop. I thought it said stop.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what time period are we in right now? I mean, or since the graves were forgotten for so many years, if we're talking the spirits that lived after they were buried here, but died before they were found, they would not know who these men are.
That's true.
And like I said earlier, the amount of Revolutionary War activity here, and activity with Henry Hudson, you have Lenape Indians, you really have a lot of people that we could possibly be talking to here. So I've never actually been to the campground. I was parking at a lot.
Oh,
This must be the campground, I guess.
Yeah, it's Halyburton's tomb.
I want to see what's around the building. See if there's any holes I can look through. Or bird. It might be bird. This might. I don't know. This might be a bird. Aha! You can see inside. Oh. Yo, there's bones in here. There's legit bones in here.
Looks like somebody was up to.
Someone's doing some ritualistic shit in here.
Is that a candle?
I don't know what that. It looks like a drumstick.
You know that one bunker on the way up in North Beach that when you go into the little room with the pentagrams and everything all in?
Yes.
What
Yeah.
is that?
A couple years ago. We could try it.
Look at this. Look right here. Your skull right here. I have no idea what it is.
I think it could have just been an animal dying there, but the way those bones are scattered.
But this skull right here is what I'm talking about. What are those teeth?
Mm.
Oh, you can stand there.
You want to get up? You want to go in?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is creepy.
Just heard a woman's
Yeah.
voice. Yeah.
Does it say hello?
Latina, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says hello.
Yeah. Turn it up. Let's see. What was going on here? You're gonna have a lot of chatter to analyze on this.
It's echoing inside.
That was something.
Who are you talking to?
Somebody.
Who are you talking to?
Somebody. Now it's somebody.
You're obviously not from the revolution, are you?
Spirit something.
Yep.
Can you give us a name?
It's like whispering something right there.
Ooh. Ooh, something right there.
Ocean, maybe?
Ocean. Solution or oh shit?
Something in. Who are we talking to? You gotta give us a name. You're talking a lot, but we want to know who you are.
Were there any rituals done here? What are these animal bones?
It's you. We came here for Halyburton, and we're here, and I mean, this is probably just a maintenance shed, probably not haunted, but we're definitely getting some chatter here.
I guess.
You two were light enough to like lift up, but can you tell us a name before we go? Loud and clear, what is your name?
That was like a 2-syllable word too, right there. That could be something.
It's so hard to make out in person because, one, the sweep rate is fast, and outside investigations, it's not as condensed. It's a little hard to make out. Put some headphones on.
There's a couple if you slow down, it's going to be something.
Is there a David here?
That's what I am.
Can you give us a message before we head back?
I've heard that like 3 times now, whatever it was.
I would say we head back.
Yeah.
Do you know our names?
We shouldn't, because we haven't really said them out loud.
I sure hope not.
You and I reacted to like what, 10 things in just like a minute or two. Let's do one spirit box in front of the monument, like 5 minutes. Are any remains of the 14 bodies still here, perhaps? Not recovered correctly? Now there's no chatter. So it's not radio words, because we're getting all that chatter back there, and now you come up here and there's absolutely
I think it's safe to assume this isn't where the actual burial was.
You know what, it might not be. That's the thing. I mean, it was found accidentally. It was lost. found again.
This wasn't erected until 30 years after they dug them
Right,
up,
I
so
mean, they found it in 1908.
it's 39
Our
there.
sources said 1937. This says 39. So yeah, 30-something years. Maybe this was not the exact area. It's just as we begin to wind this episode down, it's just, I don't know, is the word ironic that by the monument, hardly anything. Earlier, yeah, a few responses, but then we step back, we go on that trail, we go to that house or shed or whatever, and just nothing but constant chatter.
Even by the little sewer thing over there.
Yeah, even
little
by
cement
that
thing,
little
it was a lot of chatter.
So, obviously, as we've done in past episodes, cemeteries, there's bodies everywhere, tend to not be haunted. This place, I mean, it stands to reason that they didn't recover 100% of the remains, but bodies tend to not have anything to do with the haunting, because the body is just really nothing once you die. We were just hoping that maybe, if not all of the remains were uncovered, the fact that the grave was desecrated once and then disturbed the second time, maybe there would be some energy here. We're all super interested in history here on Ghosts on the Coast, so this isn't about, like, oh, let's do something creepy and try to just talk to the dead. This is also about, like, really, can we communicate with a soldier that fought here in the past? And if we did, we have a lot of footage to sift through. Maybe we did, maybe not, but it would be pretty cool if we could have spoken to Halyburton today, or some of his men, or even some of the American soldiers that were stationed here during the war. So we'll let this run for another minute. If there's any spirits here, now's your chance to give us a farewell. So Lieutenant Halyburton and the others, we hope you are at peace, whether you are here,
Settle.
settled.
I heard settle.
Now we're getting some words as we try to wrap this thing up. Well, we hope you're at peace wherever you are, wherever you're resting. And we thank you for talking to us today.
That was a woman that said thank you.
That's kind.